All right, this is lesson 4 from unit 16.1, and what we're going to be doing today is finding the monthly mortgage payment, and then finding the total interest and mortgage, and the PITA, that is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance for that month. A mortgage is a loan in which real property is used to secure a debt. The collateral is the property that is held as security on a mortgage. Equity is the difference between the expected selling value and the balance owed on the property. And right now, they talk about people being underwater on their mortgage, and that's because their equity is less than the expected selling price is less than the balance owed. Okay, first mortgage is the primary mortgage on a property. A conventional mortgage is a mortgage that is not insured by a government program. A fixed rate mortgage, the interest rate remains the same throughout the life of the mortgage. And then an adjustable rate mortgage may fluctuate during the life of the loan, depending on the prime lending rate of the bank. A home is a type of real property or real estate. It's the land and any permanent improvements to the land. And that would be water, sewer, homes, or any other type of structure. People have 15, 20, and 30-year mortgages. Payments can be made monthly or bi-weekly, which results in 26 payments per year. The bi-weekly plan builds equity more quickly than the monthly plan, but actually what happens is the bank puts that money into a savings account for you, so it doesn't actually lower your, well, I mean, it does. It's just, they treat it the same. An equity line of credit or second mortgage allows you to borrow against the equity of the home, and that's how people got in trouble back in the early 2000s, is that they would say, well, my house is worth, $200,000 more than I thought it was worth, so I'm going to use that money to go to Tahiti or something like that. The repayment of the loan in equal installments is the amortization of a loan, and that includes the principal and the interest. Okay, we're going to use Excel amortization schedule, and the way you go about doing that is you need to go to Excel and then go to New in the upper right hand or left hand corner, and then go to Templates, and you'll see this loan amortization schedule on the template section, and we're just going to go start it and then fill in the amounts. And you can do this same thing when you get to the tests too, because when you get done, you will see not just the payment, then you'll also see the total interest over the course of the loan. Okay, a home buyer is purchasing a home for $212,000. The bank has approved her loan for a 30-year fixed rate, 6% annual interest rate. I think you might have to put in 0.06 here. Number of payments per year, 12. Now, it says she makes a 20% down payment, so we need to take that $212,000 times 0.80%, because they're not going to borrow the whole $212,000, just 212,000 times 0.8, which is $169,600. And then fill in the start date of the loan. I usually just put today, whatever today's date is, and then leave this blank. And then when you get done, it will tell you that the monthly payment is $1,016.84. Now, you could also do this exact same thing in Excel. You would say equals PMT parentheses 0.06/12, comma, 30 times 12, comma, and then the present value is the 212,000 times 0.8. and then comma, 0, comma, 0. And when you press it, you will get the 1016.84. Next one. Joan Williams has been approved for a 30-year mortgage. At a fixed rate of 0.065. She's buying a home that costs $140,000 times 0.8 means she's only borrowing $112,000 and then put in the date, and when you get it done you will see 707.92. Okay, purchase price 106,200, 106,200 minus the down payment 1,300, 13,000. Oh, I'll start over again. 106,200 minus 13,000 is 93,200. Annual interest rate 0.0575. 22, 12, start date of the loan, and then when you press it, you get 622. Now they say 93, which is this one right here, and that's because in our book we use tables instead of exact values, so this is a much better way of filling that out. And of course you could also use just the equals PMT section. Okay, so we could have also done the future value formula for this. M is this shouldn't. I wonder why they have M. I'm not sure. Okay, so find the mortgage payment on a 30-year fixed-rate loan for $169,600 at 6% annual interest rate. So you see the 6%, you see the 30 years, you see the $169,600, and that's exactly what you would have put into Excel, and you notice you get the 101,684 either way. So there's 3 ways now that you can do this: using your calculator, using Excel, or using the amortization schedule. Now, sometimes they want you to find the total interest paid. Well, one way to do it is when you do the amortization schedule, it appears right here. So you got the 169,600, and then you've got 0.06. And then you've got 30 years, 12 payments per year. But the other thing that you can do, it says find the total interest paid. Well, if you're making a 30-year mortgage and there's 12 payments per year and the payments are 101,684, you take that 101,684 16.84 times 30 times 12, and that shows that you would have paid $366,062.40. Now, if we subtract the 169,600, we would have $196,462.40, which is what the total interest came out. Actually, it's pretty close to that. It says $196,461.57, and the reason for that is that the last payment makes the interest a little bit less. It says all your payments are 101,684, but the last payment in this case is going to be slightly less. And you'll see that if you're in the amortization schedule, scroll way down to the bottom, and you will see that that amount is a little bit less for the last payment. Oops. So Joan has a monthly mortgage payment of $707.84. The amount financed is $112,500 and the total interest on her 30-year mortgage. $707.84 times 30 times 12. $707.84 times 30 times 12. She paid a total of $254,822.40. Subtract the $112,000 she borrowed. She has $142,822.40 in interest. Closing costs are other costs involved in securing a mortgage. They are paid when the loan is made. Points, that would be percents of the loan, attorney's fees, sales commissions. One of the things that is common here in Wisconsin is a, what do they call that? Mortgage, or no, property, or title insurance. And that's because you need to have title to your property, and in Wisconsin there was a period of time in which they weren't real sure if people had the title, and so you buy insurance that your title is a good title for your property. Escrow is an account for holding part of the monthly payment that's used to pay taxes and insurance, and usually you have to pay escrow if your equity is less than 20%. Then you have to have an escrow account, because they don't want you to run out of money and then not be able to pay your taxes or your insurance, and then your house burns down and the bank is out of money. They figure if you own more than 20% of it, then you'll start saying, hey, I got to make sure I pay my insurance. As I said, PITA is the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance that's included with the monthly mortgage. Okay, our home buyer has a monthly mortgage and principal of $1,017.60 times 12. Okay, add 960 and add 1984. Okay, so 1,017.60 times 12. That's how many payments she makes in a year. Add the 960. And add the 1984 means that over the total of the year, $15,155.20 needs to be paid. So if we divide that by 12, then the bank is going to collect from her $1,262.93. Okay? That's going to pay the monthly mortgage, plus it's going to store up so that over the course of the year, they can pay for the mortgage, the insurance, and they can pay the taxes. Okay, so now we need to do the same thing for Joan Williams. $707.84 times 12, add the $1,200, add the $1,500, and take that total and divide by 12 months. So $707.84 times 12, add $1,200, add $1,500, means that she has a total of $11,194.08. Divide that by 12 means the bank is going to collect from her $932.84 every month. Pay the mortgage with that, and then when the property taxes and insurance comes due, pay that also. Interest rates on mortgages vary from bank to bank. Yes, they do. A point is 1% of the amount of the loan. The total of all the monthly payments plus the amount of mortgage is the total cost of the interest. Oh, I see. Minus the amount of the mortgage. So we would say false. A mortgage of $80,000 with 2 points means the borrower must pay $800 at the closing. No, 80 would be 1 point. So it'd be 800 would be 1 point. 2 points would be 1,600. Not all mortgages are paid on a monthly basis. That's true. Monthly payments are the fastest way. Actually, bi-weekly is faster. And that's because you pay 26 times a year rather than 12. Your payments are going to be less, of course. The reduction of principal each month is equal to the payment amount plus 1 month's interest. No, it's minus 1 month's interest. So basically what happens is, here's the amount of money that you owed at the beginning. 1 month later, it's going to be less. And the amount less it's going to be is a certain amount that is just the principal, the subtraction after the interest, because you're going to pay, each payment is made up of interest and it's made up of principal reduction. Okay? That interest payment at the beginning takes up almost all the loan. When you get towards the end, the principal takes up almost all the loan. Why? Because your mortgage gets smaller and smaller and smaller each month as you get closer and closer to the end. Real estate or real property is improvements such as water, sewer, land, structure, and in fact it's all of these. Last one. PITA includes principal, principal, interest, taxes, insurance. There we go. At or before the real estate closing, which of the following may be included? Mortgage closing costs, points, estimate, all of these may be included. Points are best defined as 1%, 1 point is 1%, a one-time payment of a percentage of the loan. It may allow the borrower to buy down the interest rate. In fact, it's all of these. Okay, if you have any questions, give me a call. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.